One came about. First of all, there was no world war before World War One. People had wars, skirmishes, battles, but World War One did something different to the world. World War One split the world into two halves: the West and the East. That's why today you hear them referred to as the West, or you hear them referred to it as the East, or the Eastern blocs, or the bloc countries. That came about in World War One. Countries, because of the weaponry and the armies, countries had to take a side. In the past, you got in a war with another country, that was y'all business. And if that country wanted to overthrow you, when finished and you was weakened, they'd come in and invade you. And that's just how it went. But World War One changed that. World War One made them have to think, yo, we can't let this happen, because what if the other side have more weapons than us and overthrows us? And that's when they started to say, yo, we got to come up with United Nations or something like that, where we don't overthrow each other, where we have pacts with one another. And that's how all of the UN came, NATO came. All of that started at that point. And it was significant because what it was the opening of the bottom pit. The minute those nations took both sides, the bottomless pit was open. I'm going to read it, but let me let Q finish.
Which included Gaza.
Go ahead. Okay. So in other words, they turned around and said, since they won the war, they said, look, we're going to take Palestine and we're going to assign the British Empire to rule over Palestine. But the so-called Jew already had his own plan in to get that nation. Is that the end of it?
Nah, it's got the whole how Britain started the Arab Israelite.
Go ahead, give me a little bit more. Same page, or you had to go to the next page?
No, it's the same page.
Finish me on that page, y'all. Y'all bear with me a little bit. All right.
It says, before this mandate ended in November 1947, under the United Nations, a plan was laid for the Arab-Jewish partition of Palestine, the Gaza and the surrounding area going to the Arabs.
And here's why they had to make a partition. Because the only nation in modern day history to create a nation based on their race are the Israelis. You can go to any nation. You could be from any nation, and you can go to any nation, and you, many cases, can become a citizen of that nation. Very few countries, you can't go there and become a citizen of that country or live unpersecuted. But the Israelis wanted a nation based on their new identity as Jews, our identity. And so now a new kind of nation was born. And the British were trying to hold the land. You go back and look at the old footage, man, they was running in that land, creating more. They were killing British soldiers to try and get there. They were in a frenzy trying to take over this land. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Give me 1 second. All right. The Gaza and the surrounding area going to the Arabs on the day of the British mandate ended on May 15, 1948. The Arab-Israeli war began.
Yeah, they went to war because the Arabs felt violated because the Israelis took the land. And they were like, how y'all gonna just take the land when we assigned it to the British? And they went in there, fought, and all the Arabs came in and they fought. They didn't like the fact that the British was ruling it and dividing it in the first place. But what all of that was the Lord beginning to bring about your freedom in this world. And I know it sounds crazy, being from the hood and being poor and us being on the bottom. To most of us, it seems crazy that God in heaven would care about us as opposed to everybody else. When the Lord said, your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Like putting us on the bottom, you can do that. But you will never take away the bloodline of blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. They are descendants of those 12 tribes, regardless of what it looks like on top. Give me the bottomless pit, Q, if you could. Give me Revelation 9, 1-6, because I'm going to quantify what I just said in history with a biblical scripture that's going to show you how we went into this thing and what it means going forward. Start at the first verse.
Come on, Kern.
Okay.
Revelations 9, verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth.
World War I started with the assassination of an ambassador. They assassinated him, and it drove all the nations into this war on both sides. What nation was it? Austria, I believe it was.
Yes, sir.
It was Austria. He got killed, and all the nations started going to war with one another. What that was this pit opening up. This pit was opening up, and it was now going to start the walk towards the Third World War. Read it for you. Reading scriptures as well?
Come on, Kern.
Okay, you got it?
Yes, sir. I'm starting Revelations 9 and 1 from the beginning.
Please.
And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit.
And it said he was given the key of the bottomless pit because by that assassination and that neck falling, it created a pit of war. It created World War I. And now world wars was on the plate. Go ahead.
Verse 2, and he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit.
And the reason it's called a bottomless pit is because this pit started wars that will never end until Christ's kingdom is set up. That's why it's called a bottomless pit, because it started a war. And when it said the smoke came out, meaning that flame and smoke and brimstone was wars starting. Wars that was going to be endless and endless until the Third World War. We in 2023. This took place, what, 1914?
Yes, sir.
1914. Over 100 years ago. This event took place and created World War I, and now we're marching on to World War III. We done been past 2. Now we on our way to 3. You in the greatest time to ever be living on the face of this earth. You about to see some things by the hand of the Lord. You about to see some things. Give me a little more, Q. We're going to take it to 6.
Come on. As the smoke of a great furnace.
As the smoke of a great furnace, meaning a great furnace, a lot of things can be burned in that furnace. And that's what's going to happen. A lot of things. Listen, World War II, I mean, they killed World War I, they killed a ridiculous amount of people. I think it might have been the most, right? World War I? World War II was ridiculous. They dropped that bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. On top of everything else, they bombed England into the ground, bombed all those empires. And another one is coming. And let me tell you something. Put on your warrior hat. What the hell you got to worry about? Like, Christ is coming back to bring you out of this empire. You served 400 years. You served so much slavery in this kingdom and across these aisles that you done got so comfortable, you don't even really feel like you're a slave no more. These stories sound like fire and brimstone to our people. It's like, what you mean? What you mean God gonna kill everybody? What you mean? When you should be like, yes, let's get it on. Let's get free from these people. Let's let our laws rule among us. Every other nation does it. This same Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, I know I'm jumping in, ain't gonna drag, y'all. Thanksgiving became famous because of the Puritans, who were Christians during the time of King James, by the way. They were Christians, but they were like what they call Puritists, meaning they got away from the Roman Catholic way of Christianity. They didn't want nothing to do with the Catholic Church. They didn't want to be ruled by the Roman Catholic Church. King James was fighting against the Roman Catholic Church. Everybody was fighting the Roman Church back then. But they still came over here with Christianity and still slaughtered our people like it was nothing. Only that, the Thanksgiving celebration originally was based off of our high holy day of gathering in the fruit. They were trying to copy it, but like a bloody beast. Even if you give them our laws, you're gonna have to put a chain on them for them to act the way they're supposed to act. But I divert. I don't want to divert on it. Come on with it, Q.
And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit.
Right. The sun and the air were darkened. If you lose the light and the ability to breathe, what happens to you? You in confusion now. You can't, how do you go? You coughing, you can't see where you're going. It's a slow, horrible death. And that's what's happening to us. That's what happened from World War I, and it's been happening to us ever since. Give me some more, Q. Take me to 6, all the way, walk it down to 6.
Verse 3, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth.
And those locusts represent armies, soldiers, weapons, tanks, planes. Go ahead.
And unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power.
Like, what power does a scorpion have? Anybody? To sting you. And what happens when he stings you? It hurts like hell. Yeah, and in some cases, it'll kill you. It's the right scorpions. Say again? Yeah, you definitely gonna, yeah, you gonna stop. you gonna think about that sting. Well, that's what those armies were given the power to do in World War I. Read on.
Verse 4, and it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree.
Who was the grass of the earth back then? We were the grass of the earth. The turn of the century, we had just got out of so-called slavery on paper. They still had us in slavery in many places around the world. And even in the United States, they had secret slave camps underground. Philadelphia was one of them, right or wrong. Girard College had, you can go down underneath Girard College right now. They got the slave cages underneath the college, where the slaves had to wrap the pipes with fabric and sew them by hand to keep it going. We had to become smiths and build our own cages to be locked in and our own locks to be put in. Hold your peace for a second. I'm going to open it up at the end, because I know I'm going to lose y'all if I don't keep on going. You know what I'm saying? I want to really get all of it out, and then I'm going to let y'all jump in. Go ahead, Q.
But only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads.
Come on, plug me in. I think I'm not running. But read it again. Yeah, those that did not have the seal, meaning those from the other nations, those among us that turned our back on the Lord, they got caught up in World War I. Black men thought that they were going to be so beloved after World War I. They joined the military, put that uniform on, thought we was going to be beloved. We came back from World War I. White people was pulling us off the train, splitting our heads open, killing us, lynching us. Imagine that. You go fight in World War I, the same in World War II. You go fight in World War I, come back and get lynched in America. Damn. They hated us so much, they didn't even want us to fight for them. That's how much they hated us. And this nature is the nature of the beast. This is the nature of this man. This ain't no special thing. This is how he is. That's what's going on with the Palestinians. That's the same Edomite over there. And he's going to bomb that place into the Stone Age if he can. He wants off the land, just like they wanted us off the land during the time of the Pequot Indians, when they burned us down in our own houses, in our own religious centers. Give me some more.
Verse 5, and to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months.
So for a period of time, we were tormented with our racism, with all the evil that we did. And they were really tormented for those 5 months. That's a dispensation of time. That's not a hard number. 6Q.
And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man.
Right. It was a torment, meaning you constantly in wars, constantly in battles, constantly getting killed, constantly losing people. Plague. All the plagues started coming out at that time. That was all part of this plan to wipe out all these nations on this earth. They rebuilt again, and they came back. Keep going, Q. Give me verse 6.
Verse 6. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it.
And there was much suicide back then. You hear about it even now, right or wrong. Tons of brothers come back from them wars, fighting for Esau, kill themselves. Women too, sisters too. It's all over YouTube. They tell you they have stories and they look horrible. and they talking about horrific things. And many of them kill themselves after they tell the story, because this is all a part of bringing this empire down. That's the end of 6, so you got more, Q.
And shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them.
Right, they're going to desire to die, but death shall flee from them. Okay, that's how we started in World War I. Matter of fact, if you could give me real quick, Revelation, what am I looking for? Revelation 11, I think it is, just to bring the one woe, two woes past, one woe past, two to come, just to clarify that. So what we're seeing over there is the Lord's doing. Here's what happened. In 1978, the Israelis, and show you how ironic the Lord is, the Israelis were digging for oil and natural gas. And they looked all over the country, and they couldn't find no oil or natural gas except in one place, in Gaza. The one place they didn't have. So they got this whole country, they ruling now. They got nuclear weapons, but the oil is in Gaza. And it's off the coasts in Gaza. They found 1.7 billion gallons of oil in Gaza. None in the land ruled by the Israelis. They went digging even further and found 100 billion metric tons of natural gas. Guess where they found that at? Gaza. None in the rest of the country. They decided back then, we're going to get rid of the Palestinians. We about to run them off the land. It was too much money. Exxon Mobil, United States, all these countries were already set up to put rigs off of the coast of Gaza and start pulling that oil up and bringing that gas up. And here's why else it was so important to them. Because if the Israelis get the power to draw their own oil and natural gas, what won't they need? They won't need the Arabs anymore. They won't have to buy oil from Egypt no more. They won't have to rely on anybody no more. They won't even have to kiss the United States ass. They'll have enough oil and gas to rule their own nation, take over whoever they want. And nobody expected that until 1978. They gave them bombs before 78, thinking they was going to need them bombs just as a deterrent for all the Arab nations around them. They slept on the fact that if they were to find some oil, they won't need the United States anymore. So the United States is chumming up to them real good now. That's why you see they didn't stop them. They stopped them for Thanksgiving, though. They made sure the turkey was good. Wait till next week. Wait till next week. The bombing about to start again. Okay? So they found that natural gas in there, right? And they knew they had to get rid of the Palestinians. And they came up with another plan. They said, what if we cut a canal through Gaza? And with that canal, we will now compete against the Suez Canal. And they said, well, what do we got to do? Well, they said the first thing you got to do is you got to clear the land. You got to get rid of the Palestinians. So now they got two major reasons, really three major reasons to get rid of the Palestinians. Why is this happening? The Lord is bringing them to the Third World War. He's bringing them. He's dragging them, like he said in Joel, the 3rd chapter. He's dragging them to plead with them to come down into this valley because he's going to wipe them out. So now the plan started for them to go ahead and start bringing in the Third World War. You got Revelation 11 for me? Somebody, whoever got it.
Revelation chapter 11, verse 7.
Is it 7, Q? Go ahead, read it out. I think I'm looking for 14. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Just give me the 14th verse if you could.
Come. Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
Okay, up above it, I believe it says the first woe is past, and two more come quickly, unless I'm missing it in Revelation. Say again. Same chapter. What verse? Give me the verse. So now, at that point, I think you're up to the the second woe. But give me the first woe. It's important for you to know that this is the Lord, 12 verse, THAWADAH. It's important for you to know that this unfolding is biblical prophecy, man. Your life is about to change. When the scripture says, lay up thy folly ground, the Lord is not joking. You got to clean up your spirit now, because tomorrow might be too late. We done got away so long with doing the evils that we do that we don't even think nothing can come back. But it's happening in front of your eyes. You getting a warning like ever before. And let me tell you something. If you understood what is happening, brother, you drop on your knees and be saying, Lord, forgive my sins so I can be your servant. That's what you'd be saying, because you'd realize what greatness he gave to you. Read it for me, Op.
Revelation chapter 9, verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter.
There you go. The one woe is what we just broke down. Two more come after that. We know World War II is past. World War III is guaranteed. It's guaranteed we're going to go into World War III. It ain't no question no more. He's showing it to us before our eyes. You got to make a transformation, and quick. And I'm going to tell you why. Because all these 12 tribes are about to fall in your lap. They're about to fall in your lap. This world is about to get shifted into another zone, and death is going to be everywhere. How many of y'all heard of the BRICS? The BRICS finance. You know that's coming. If the BRICS go online, the American dollar will be cut in half. So if you're paying, what's a loaf of bread cost? It'll be 10 or 12 when that comes online. Gas bills about what right now in the crib? Huh? 200? Look at 450. Look at 450. How much is gas in the car? You wondering why America running to get them electric cars? How much? Let's say 625. Probably put us right where we need to be. 625 for gas. And when's the last time we got wage increase? Okay, then. Don't nobody even know what year it was. You know what I mean? You had, what was the last time minimum wage got raised? Never. Hell, damn near. But meanwhile, these prices about to jump up, and it's about to go where? It's about to go where it's supposed to go, which is the fall of these empires. And the Lord is pouring into you something special. First of all, he's taking these officers. I'm diverting just for a second. Y'all stop me. He's taking these officers and raising them up and raising these amazing sisters up, and he's giving them a new spirit. And this new spirit that we're getting is for this job. It may not look like it, but go back and read the scriptures, brothers and sisters. How many times did the Lord take a small number of men and women and change our entire existence? The Lord don't like, he want the glory. He don't, man, damn right, give it up. So right. Like, he wants the glory. He don't want you getting the glory or somebody else getting the glory. He's going to work with a small number and do something miraculously amazing. And you're going to see it. It was, in my eyes, it was already miraculous that you found the truth. It's like, I can't believe that I've found the truth, and I'm looking at brothers and sisters that are dressed like people from the ancient world. I can't even believe it. But it happened. It happened. And from everywhere, just like he said, one in the city, two in the field, he's going to bring them together. Now is the time to have faith unquestioned. When you was smoking that crack, you had plenty faith in that hit. You knew if it said blue top, it was on. You was going to be smoked out for at least 6 hours. You ain't question it. You ain't say nothing. When that weed came and you cracked open that bag and that fat and smelling good, fat with it, the kind where you squeeze it, crunch. that good Colombian gold. Listen, I had a brass pipe, brother. I still see it in my dreams. I kept that brass pipe shining. I thought it smoked sometimes. You had confidence in that. Now you got to put your faith in the Most High. You got to be, like the scripture said, we walk not by sight. It's time for that is over. Time for time for you using your own analytical mind to carry this out. Them days going away, because you ain't gonna be able to. You're not gonna you're gonna be overwhelmed by what you see in front of you as this place starts. Wait till the riots start. The Arabs about to tear shop up. And listen, you think they bad? You think them Arabs is terrorists and they bad? Wait till the so-called Jews start. You're gonna really see a terrorist. Wait till this so-called Jew get the killing and slaughtering against the Arabs and anybody else. Then you're gonna see some real killing. It's gonna be a mess, but a beautiful mess. A beautiful mess that's bringing us to where we gotta be. One woe is past. Behold, two woes come quickly, coming around the corner. You can stop right there. I'm going to stop you right there, right?
Okay.
I'm going to go a little further on what we're doing. All right? Y'all bear with me a second. It is. It's up to 12%. All right? Now, what has happened so far that we know about? We know that the scriptures in Ezekiel 38 said that the Lord would put hooks in Gog and Magog and turn them around. That's happened, right or wrong. So now, what are we looking for now? Here's what we're looking for. We're looking for France to fall. When I say fall, meaning France, according to the biblical prophecy, I could read it. I don't know if we're gonna go to it. A lot of y'all have read it many times. Again, I don't want to tie you up too long, but France, according to the prophecies, are going to be turned around. They're gonna side with the Arabs, and you're gonna see France. For the first time, an Edomite nation is about to start to gravitate to the Arabs' point of view. They're going to turn against America. They're going to turn against NATO, which sounds crazy. But according to the Bible, that's what's going to happen. They're going to start to turn in the other direction, and they're going to create a problem for NATO. They're going to create a problem. That's bringing us another step closer. What else we looking for, y'all? We looking for we looking for Russia. The big boy is Russia entering into Saudi Arabia. When Russia enters, and they almost there. Make no mistake. Matter of fact, get that one for me, Q, where it said Yemen, and it quotes both of those. Get that for me. This is biblical prophecy, man. A beautiful thing. Here's what's coming next. You see what's happening. Who knows what's going on in Syria by hands? Anybody? Let me explain to you what's happening in Syria right now. Remember back in 2008, I think it was, or something like that, Obama went into Syria, tried to overthrow the country. Well, the Russians backed the Iranians. The Iranians pushed the Americans out. And that's why Assad, the ruler of Syria, got some run time to run the country a little longer. Well, now they tried to go back. They're trying to go back. They set up bases in Iraq to go back into Syria and try to take it over again. They want Syria because they got oil wells up there. And the Israelis want that land as well. Well, as they're beginning to go back, they're getting into battles with the Iranians. You might have heard of it in the news. They're battling back and forth. So the Iranians are getting in the battle against America. You've heard a lot of talk also about America threatening Iran not to get into the Middle East battle. Bad news for them. They're going in the Middle East battle. Everybody's going into the Middle East battle. And as they go into this battle, what you're going to start to see is Russia take note. And Russia is going to say to themselves, according to the biblical prophecy, why should I sit back and let America destroy Iran, our ally that brings oil to us? No, we ain't going for that. And they're going to go down into Saudi Arabia, which sounds crazy that anybody would invade Saudi Arabia. You're going to see it happen. By the time we have the third part of this lecture, another year or two, who knows? You're going to see it happen. They're going to invade Saudi Arabia. And then it's on because, of course, the oil will start getting cut off. Where I'm going, Q.
Go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates.
Because these countries don't have nuclear power. And their people live a village life, unwalled, easy to overthrow. But they got big backup. Like they could destroy Iran, but why won't they? Because Iran got Russia backing them up. They could destroy Saudi Arabia. Why won't they? Because America's backing them up. But as the Lord brings them closer to this war, they're not going to be able to stop. They're going to have to go in. Right now, they're going to have to go in Iran in a minute. If this keeps going in Syria, they're going to have to go into Iran, or they're going to have to do some serious damage to Iran. Read on.
Verse 12, to take a spoil and to take a prey, to turn thine hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations,
right,
which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land.
They're going after these countries, these little areas, these little places. The Russians are working on the other side. What are the Russians doing? They freed up a whole lot of African countries from